Welcome to another train diary of a chiropractor. Welcome to another diary of a chiropractor. Currently in a train station in Earl's Town. There you go. There's the thing as well. I'll show you it here. Okay, so I have 20 minutes before my train, and I really wanted to talk to you guys and tell you about an amazing story. This is one of the cases I treated today. So, young 6-year-old warm blood cross quarter horse. Such a talented horse. So the minute this horse came to the yard, very bright-eyed, very alert. He's young. He was aware of his surroundings, but my God, he could move. So before I do any treatment, I always ask the owner the history as much as they can tell me. Whilst that's happening, I'm looking at the horse, looking at their response, looking at their behavior, just really seeing how they are and who they are as a person. Then watched him walk on the hard ground and then went into the arena. So I haven't obviously got the horse in front of me, but I'm going to try and describe it to you as best I can. I see these cases all the time where asymmetrical front feet, one foot is very boxy and the other foot is flat. So which is the problem foot? Comment and let me know below. I'm obviously going to explain the best that I can from my experience, but I just want you to maybe press pause and have a think if you've had this experience before, what you have found the issue to be, and if you've ever noticed that has come straight. By that I mean the boxy foot has returned to a quote-unquote normal shape, or the shape of the foot next to it. And it's so easy.
Please, this is a special announcement. Following a track defect in the East Didsbury area earlier, lines have now reopened between Manchester Piccadilly and Manchester Airport. As a number of trains and train crew have been displaced by this disruption, some short notice alterations, cancellations and delays may occur, but we are working to restore a full service as soon as possible. I'm sorry for any delay this disruption has caused your journey today. Please note, if this disruption results in delay of 15 minutes or more, you can apply for delay repay compensation. Please visit northernrailway.co.uk and click on the delay repay section for further information.
Okay, we're back. So I often find when these horses have asymmetrical front feet, it's so easy to straight away go, well, it's always been that way and that's just the way it is. In some cases it is, but in this horse's case it wasn't, because the first part of the history that I was told was this horse broke its neck. Now straight away I just wanted to throw my phone down and be like, sorry, what? The horse did what? But then it's quickly followed up by, it happened 4 years ago as a 2-year-old. He's now 6 years old. The vet has checked him over, has rescanned, and everything's great. So my next question is, well, what broke? You can't just break a neck, right? You think of a human breaking a neck and you're like, a horse breaking a neck and his head's just hanging on the floor. Like, sometimes we need to be a little bit careful with the wording we're using, because it's probably most likely, now that I've felt the horse, it was more of a fracture. The point being, straight away, it was a hair, it was like a red flag of like, okay, we need to be careful. Obviously, the horse has had vet permission as well, and despite all that, I always still treat the horse with the clean slate of what I'm feeling and seeing in front of me. Now, this horse could move. Oh my God, he covered so much ground, he had so much cadence, he was so beautiful to watch. A few things stood out. Another train. A few things stood out. Number one, on both directions, whether it was in a straight line, going right or going left, he used to hold his head in a very high head carriage. So like this, and the front feet would just be going almost too high, that I would like to see in a young horse or a horse of any age, shape, which straight away I thought, okay, there's something going on there at the base of the neck. The second thing that really stood out to me were these front feet. So, I'm so excited to share this with you, because I need to calm down. Let me just take a breath. Side note, I've been doing this now for over 10 years, and I've recognized that I like complicated cases. I enjoy those cases where the vet's seen the horse recently, the physio has seen the horse recently, another osteo has, and there's still inconclusive work to do, there's still an unknown, the riders are still questioning, and that's the biggest thing as the rider is, I'm going, what from this treatment today will know that it's either done what you wanted it to do, or you will know this has been the right thing for your horse. We need to have more intention as riders, as owners with our horses. That I will come to, and I'm going to do a full episode on that, because this is something that I've recognized in all of us as equestrians, is where are we wanting to go? What is our intention? Okay, so back to this horse. Looking at his front feet, I was like, okay. Watching the way he stood, looking at his shoulders, following, my eyes were like comparing right, left, all the way from the hoof, pastern, fetlock, all the way up to the carpus, all the way up to the shoulder, point of shoulders, and I was like, okay, there is not an equal pair there. Why would there be? The front feet are so asymmetrical. But when I got my hands on his neck, I was like...
In this period of hot weather, please do stay hydrated and carry water with you. If you do feel unwell, please let our train crew know. And leave the service at the next available station so we can assist you quickly. Thank you.
Putting my hands on his neck, so C4, C5, my honest reaction, excuse my French, was, holy, is that? I was really taken back because watching him move, there wasn't any head tilting, snaking, there wasn't any significant signs of concern, only that really high, stiff head carriage. And then my hands told me everything. There was so much asymmetry from C2 all the way to C6. Any wonder this horse had asymmetrical front feet. So what do we do here? What do we do here? What is the most important question? Because I reverse engineered. I said, what is your next 12 months looking like? And yeah, I did say 12 months because realistic expectations. This horse has had this injury since it was 2. It's now 6, 4 years of this neck and the body adapting to this issue. Obviously, there's going to be significant changes in its posture, in its loading, and now obviously in its feet. So what we did was, I said, realistically, if you've got 12 months with a 6-year-old, and I love this about this owner because many owners go, oh my God, 12 months, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. But she went, yeah, I've got 12 months. I said, great. I would like to see him in the next 6 weeks. From now until I see you again, don't ride him. I'd like you to do specific corrective exercises. This will be done from the ground. If you want to know more about these exercises, comment below and I will do a video on them. And I said, bring him back in 6 weeks. I said, speak to your farrier because this is a teamwork approach to helping this horse. Not only the management at home, myself, but also the farrier. The farrier is fundamental because the more I change in the neck, the way the shoulder sits, impacts the way the foot is loading, will affect what the farrier is seeing and doing. So I said a teamwork approach here will not only ensure that we're on the right track, but it will actually speed up recovery, speed up healing. If you are not working with a team of professionals, start doing it. It is so, so important when it comes to optimizing your horse's health, but improving any weakness that might be holding them back in something that you're wanting to improve. Okay, take a deep breath, Nika. Okay, so after that, what I actually did from a structural perspective, and again, this might annoy a few people, but I'm here to speak truth. There is no such thing as symmetrical. There is no such thing as perfect left to right. In my opinion, there's only functional. Side note to that, there's functional, but if something is tight, restricted, dysfunction, whatever word you want to use, misaligned, out of kilter, whatever term, broken, there is a reason for it, and that reason will have knock-on effects on compensatory issues through the body. So the most important thing we need to be doing as therapists, as riders, as vets, as farriery, is making sure that we're always asking questions to why we are adapting a part of the body. So before I did any treatment to this horse, I did a lot of palpation. I got my hands on every single part of the body that I could. And what's the next thing I did? The next thing is I watched his behavior. Because even though they don't speak English, they don't need to. They're so clear in their communication with their body, with their changes in their face, their muzzle, the eyes, the ears, even the tonicity within the body. You can feel when you're on that area that is a little bit painful, reactive. You see it straight away. And this horse, for me, showed it all in his eyes and in his muzzle. He would stiffen up and do this. Those two key things. After feeling his entire body and working on his neck, and I can't tell you like the extreme dysfunction and also asymmetrical, but also restriction and crookedness that I felt in this horse's neck. I said to the rider, my God, would I be right in assuming that when you get on this horse, take a contact, he does a little snake to the right and tilts his head, and head to the left but chin to the right? And she went, that is exactly what he does, Nika. And I went, any wonder. This will not be corrected by a bit, by an expensive free bridle or saddle. This needs to be corrected from the horse on his own through specific groundwork exercises, manual therapy, corrective shoeing first before you go and apply some form of tack. And really think about that a moment, because if you are going to use tack and use a stronger bit and start making the horse straight, and I say straight because it's never going to be straight, it's fractured its neck, okay? That's had knock-on effects to the structures and soft tissue attachment points, not only in the neck but in the shoulders, sternum, and then what we are seeing is the foot placement, the foot balance, the foot conformation. Really understanding and going, if we put a stronger bit or put more pressure like draw reins or side reins, what will happen? Only more pressure, only more compensation. And this is when I see a lot of horses that start to hang through the bit, or they feel really heavy in your right contact that you think, Jesus Christ, just get off my right rein. And again, this is where we'd apply more leg pressure on the right, which has a knock-on effect, not only not where we want it to be, which is more pressure down the rib cage, that would have an opposite effect through the spine, through the lumbar, through the hindquarters on the right. You can see that it's just creating a cascade of negative effects. If we break it all down, we strip it all back, like strip everything back like you're peeling an onion to the very core, and then start to relayer, step by step, month by month. Understanding that some months we go backwards before going forwards, but when you work with a team, you get the most amazing results. So I've said to this horse and the lady that I'll see her again in 6 weeks with corrective shoeing and corrective management from her. I'm really interested to see how this goes. I've taken photos, and this is so important. If you are not taking photos of your horse, please start doing it. The more you take, the more progress you can see, whether it's good or bad. When we see them every day, we don't notice the difference. We don't realize what impact we're having, whether it's negative or positive. So that would be the first thing I would definitely do, is take some photos. So you can see my train's about to arrive because there's people here now. Yeah, I've got 5 minutes. I'm going to keep you updated. Side note, if you're thinking, Nika, how are you so confident this will work? Genuinely, through experience. I've worked with a few horses now in my time that have had asymmetrical front feet, really boxy one foot, flat the other foot, and it usually hasn't been the
May I have your
feet.
attention, please? This is a special announcement. Following a track defect in the East Didsbury area earlier, lines have now reopened between Manchester Piccadilly and Manchester Airport. As a number of trains and train crew have been displaced by this disruption, some short notice alterations, cancellations and delays may occur, but we are working to restore a full service as soon as possible. I'm sorry for any delay this disruption has caused your journey today. Please note, if this disruption results in a delay of 15 minutes or more, you can apply for delay repay compensation. Please visit northernrailway.co.uk and click on the delay repay section for further information.
We're back. Having worked with horses like this in the past, I've recognised that there is a huge relationship with what's happening in the body up above. And over 2 years, with 2 or 3 case studies that I've worked with, we have managed to get a symmetrical pair of front feet with corrective shoeing, but the teamwork approach of helping the horse's body, the rider doing specific exercises, the body worker helping with as the body changes, and most importantly, providing the right environment for the horse's body to heal and function optimally. If you found this helpful, let me know. If you have any questions or you'd like to know further information, comment below. And if someone will benefit from this that you know, share and like it.